Hello, this video is for Monday, November 2. Today our scripture reading in our Bible overview reading plan is 2 Corinthians chapter 12. I'd like to encourage you to take some time and read this passage on your own if you haven't already. If you'd like to read 2 Corinthians 12 online, you can do that by following the link I've posted alongside this video. In reflecting on today's reading, I'd like to focus on a few verses, about maybe verses 7 through 10 or so. So this letter, 2 Corinthians, is written by Paul, who was a leader in the early church, a missionary, in fact. And Paul talks about this struggle that he has, a thorn in his flesh. We're not really sure what that is, but he talks about pleading with Jesus to take it away from him. And Jesus says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." And then Paul goes on to say, "Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest in me." And further on, "For when I am weak, then I am strong." And I think that this passage is important for us as Christians, to see that Paul, a Christian like us, went through some kind of suffering and struggle that he didn't understand. That when we go through suffering and struggles that we don't understand, we can take heart. That it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with us necessarily, because Paul is going through this, and it doesn't seem that God is punishing him or anything like that. But more importantly is Jesus' response. Jesus says that my grace is sufficient for you. That when we struggle, that when we suffer, that Jesus is with us, that he loves us, and he cares for us, and his power is enough to help us through. It doesn't mean that it'll be easy. It doesn't mean that it'll be enjoyable, certainly, but it means that God is with us, and that his power is more than enough for any struggle that we might face. And so the Apostle Paul goes on to say that he will boast about his suffering and weaknesses, because then he knows that he's relying on Christ's power instead of his own. Then he sees how God is helping him through, how Jesus is with him. The truth is, we're often weak. We face things that would be too much for us on our own. But Jesus gives us strength. Jesus helps us through. Doesn't mean, again, that our suffering is going to end right away. Doesn't mean things are going to be easy. But Jesus never leaves us alone, and he can always help us through. So that's my thought with the reading for today. If you've got thoughts that you'd like to share, or maybe some questions you'd like to raise, please go ahead and leave those in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Either I'll reply to your comment, or maybe even I'll message you directly. It seems like more of a personal thing. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I hope that you have a great day.